got a brand new Reese M5 hitch. Came in 4 different boxes. This is the box with the head in it. These are the FORD legs from the FORD OEM puck system. Came with the hardware bag. And then this is the main part of the hitch in this box right here. One of the things that I had to do was, I haven't opened this box yet, but this is the horizontal handle for the hitch. This one came with the vertical handle, but I have a cover, and so as a result, don't know whether this is going to work. They don't give you that option to be able to just buy the handle that you want, so you have to buy that second one. We'll see once I get it installed whether it's going to need it or not, and make a decision whether I return that one or whether I have to hang on to it. So I'm going to get the pieces out now and start trying to put it together. So I got my package open. 4 cotter pins and a label still left in this particular one. I pulled out the bolts and the washers, and I'd read some places some comments about the fact that there's powder coating on the inside of the holes. So easy thing to do was just to take put a little lube in there to sort of make it easier, and I went ahead and threaded these all the way in. All the way in and all the way out on both sides. And you can see it's still turning a little bit difficult, but goes in and out okay with a wrench. So we got the center body of the hitch here. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to take advantage of the fact that we've got this end of the bed of the truck here to make this a little bit easier, I hope. As I said, I put a little bit more lubricant in the holes, trying to make it a little bit easier to get on. And now that I've gotten it worked through a couple of times, it should go on without any issue. All right, switched it around, got it propped up in the air, just so it's not working at an awkward angle. Get these other 2 on. Again, I'm going for the center hole here. There's 4 inches of difference in the height, so I'm using the center one, which I think is going to set me right at the point where I've got the 6 inches between the bed of the truck and the top of the bottom of the RV. All right, so I've just dropped it in puck mount undermount system, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and adjust these. These are pretty loose, so I'm going to tighten them up. Got to be able to close it once it's
It was about at this point that I probably should have figured out that there was something wrong with the actual hitch, because there shouldn't have been as much play in the T-handles as there was, even when they were open and closed, and that was because the hitch was assembled only finger tight at this point, but still was almost too small to fit. This hitch was replacing a Reese hitch with a similar T-handle setup, so I should have known what it felt like and how it should fit, but I just didn't recognize it quite at this point. I did adjust all 4 of the T-handle bolts or castle nuts in an attempt to get it where I thought was right before starting to torque the 4 main bolts that hold the head to the legs. And it seemed to be that everything was going well at that point, but again, hindsight's 20/20. The next step was torquing down the 4 bolts that hold the center section to the 2 legs. After we had completed that, we discovered the legs were actually too short. They were 29.5 inches. There were supposed to be 30 inches between the T-pins, and so as a result, the hitch would not go in and out of the bed like it's supposed to.
Last thing that we did was we got the handle put on, tightened it up, and of course before I put the hitch head on, I put a fair amount of grease along the support arms that were underneath right here.
I spoke with an etrailer customer service rep, and they suggested going out, putting the weight of the trailer on the hitch just to see if that would maybe spring something back into place that would eliminate the issue of the hitch not going in and out of the bed as it was designed. So we went out, hooked the trailer up, put the weight on the hitch. It did not spring anything, and as a result, we determined that there must be something faulty with the hitch. And it appears to be that the weld on that left side in the picture here was at a slightly different angle than the weld on the right side for the plate that fastens to the side of the main body. What that resulted in was a distance of only 29.5 inches from the 2 T-pins that you see underneath, and the space that's required for the hitch is 30 inches. The solution? eTrailer is going to UPS us a new set of legs for the hitch.
Okay, second time, looks like it's going to be the charm. We just did a quick matchup of the way that the weld is done right here against this plate. And the two match one another, so they're either both wrong or they're both right, which is different than the first set, which I've got to ship back. So we're going to go through the process of assembling again. I'm not going to bore you with that, and we'll look at installation here in just a few minutes. So the last part of this process of doing this is getting the castle nuts so that you've got good movement, but it's still tight in terms of the hitch being tight in the bottom here. And so several adjustments to do this before I put my cotter pins back in, and then bent them around so they can't easily come out. The goal here is to get this so that it holds it in place, and you don't get any play down here, which is in our case that is exactly what's happening, zero play. All right, here's the finished product. One of the things that we discovered was that we thought we had room to set this at the lowest setting. So we did that yesterday, and then I went out to our storage and hooked up to the trailer. Now we had about 8.5 inches of clearance with it set on the higher setting. But when we lowered it to the lower setting, to the lowest setting, so I'm on the middle right now. When I lowered it to the lowest setting, what ended up happening, that the lowest setting is the top set of holes. What ended up happening was I ended up with 5 3/4 of an inch at this point right here on the back of the bed. And so my concern is that we've got a pretty steep driveway that we come in, and the articulation that occurs at the end of that drive as the trailer's up but the truck's not up yet. I'm just afraid this was going to touch. So 5 3/4 ish. I just wasn't in my comfort zone. So we raised it back up. We'll see what it actually measures again. You know, because the top is this, but it's really not. In my case, it's this, and that's a good 3/4 of an inch higher.
So with that done, we headed out to the storage site to pick up our trailer.
All right, first thing we want to do is make sure that we've actually unlocked the hitch. In this case, what I did was I force locked it just because it rattles a little bit less with it being force locked. So pull it out, make sure that it's showing red, and this swings freely. and we'll get ready to hook up.
We're very fortunate to be able to park our RV on an Air Force base, so you'll hear the sound of freedom in the background. Also take note that I was able to keep the original vertical hitch handle, and I sent the horizontal one back to eTrailer for a refund.
And notice that the green indicator is up, so that means we're hitched at this point. I always throw this over the side just so that I don't forget about it, getting it hooked up. Last couple of steps. I always put a couple of twists in this just to make sure that it doesn't come loose or get caught down underneath as we're making turns. And then of course you want to put this bail pin in to make sure that the hitch is locked and can't come out. Okay, one of the things we always do is we make sure we double chock, one in front, one in the rear. That way you don't have to worry about the thing rocking one way or the other. It's the driveway at the house. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and this is our first attempt to unhook this thing from other than a static situation.
As I said earlier, we were replacing an old 11-year-old Reese hitch that we were having difficulty with, especially unhooking. It had become a two-person operation. So one of the things that we were really concerned with here is making sure that we did this as carefully as possible. I think we ended up high, a little bit high coming off the pin, and you'll see that popping here in just a minute. A lesson learned for us to take away as we do this in the future. But in the end, it is actually a good, easy to use, very easy to work with in terms of unhitching, and I'm confident that we'll get it straight as we move forward.
So overall, very happy with the purchase. Great service from eTrailer. So I want to give a shout out to eTrailer. You know, it's not their fault. They get something in a box, they don't open it to quality control it. They assume that Reese has done that before it leaves their factory. And it's unfortunate that first set of legs was not right, but again, I sent it back. eTrailer shipped the new ones. I shipped the old ones back today after I'd gotten everything done to complete it out. And so great place to do business with. This is the third or fourth time that I've gone to eTrailer to buy various and sundry things. My very first hitch 20 years ago I bought from eTrailer, and they've done nothing but good stuff throughout all that time. So great work by eTrailer, and thanks to them.
Thanks for watching. Hope you found the content of this video helpful as you look at the possibility of maybe getting a new hitch. Please don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel, and click on the notification bell so you know when our next video comes out. Look forward to seeing you then.